I'm Brad,
I'm Dave.
and today we're here to discuss minute 76 of The Lost World. Dave, we've got some, over the Christmas break, we've got some more footage from the Jurassic Evolution game. Jurassic World Evolution game. Oh, it's going to get confusing. With some new dinosaur models.
Mm-hmm.
One that has got a little bit of fans' question is, it looks like a Deinonychus. It's got a bit of a head crest on it.
Yeah. It was confirmed to be a Deinonychus by the game developers, I believe, but interesting enough, the Jurassic Park Velociraptors are based off of Deinonychus, so bit of an oxymoron.
Yeah, yep. It's possible there's been a little bit of speculation this could be some of the hybrid or the hybridization you can do in the game,
Mm-hmm.
which is perfectly fine. I love the skin textures on it, and I don't really mind the colour either.
No, it's not a bad color.
We've also seen a Ceratosaurus as well. A Ceratosaurus. I'll leave the dinosaur names up to you.
Yeah, from Jurassic Park 3, we get the Ceratosaurus, and it's the exact same colors as it was in Jurassic Park 3, so that's a nice, great bit of continuity.
Yep. There's a couple of Edmontosauruses as well, sort of grazing in a field,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got a nice sort of blue colour on their heads. Again, possibly this could be the hybridization of the dinosaurs, or it could be just the fact that they're going with this, because really, apart from one brief shot in the Lost World, this would be the first time in the franchise we've seen them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. At least in the flesh, anyway.
Yeah, yep. No, it's good. A couple more designs. I don't think we have a release date for Evolution yet. Just checking the article here, that can't see anything. But the game's coming, and I'm still excited to get in and play it. More so just to explore the world. I'm not really up on park building, but it's a good little aspect of the game that I'll play around with at least anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Pachycephalosaurus. Carnivore? Huh? No. Herbivore, late Cretaceous.
Oh, yeah. That's how it always starts. But then later there's running and then screaming.
Secondly, over the Christmas, when was it? I think it was late December. Empire released some stills from their upcoming article in their magazine with the Carnotaurus, with its nice head there looking into the gyrosphere, and I really do love that design.
Yeah, it does look great. It's got that red. It's got that orangish red, and then the dark bluish black. Almost reminds you of the colorations that they had with the toys.
Yeah.
But a lot more detailed. I mean, looking at the picture here in high definition, you can see those scutes and stuff all around the eyes and along the jaw. And it's just got a beautiful hatchet-shaped jaw, just like a Carnotaurus should.
Yep. I hope it doesn't die, or there's more than one.
Yeah, me too.
But it's one interesting thing here in the article. They've noticed that the eye is very chameleon-like.
Yeah, it is.
Which is a nice
Very
little.
chameleon-like, even in the iris too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that sort of light of colour around the pupil.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a nice little nod back to the Lost World novel.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
even if this doesn't camouflage, which it probably won't and probably shouldn't, after they've done that with the Indominus Rex. But no, fantastic design. Really excited to see it on screen. And yeah, just hope it's not a short-lived cameo.
Yeah, me too. And I really hope we actually get to see it in action, because I mean, looking at the design, it's just so beautiful. The nice big bucket-shaped mouth, just great for just slamming its teeth into food and then just scraping away flesh.
Yeah, yep. And I suppose one other thing that coming out of the article as well, Jay Biona sort of saying that the start of the film's going to be Bond-like, or teases a Bond-like opening for Fallen Kingdom, which could mean anything. I'm guessing it's some sort of action scene.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it's Chris Pratt, club asking for a martini.
You never know.
But it's hard to nail down what a Bond-like opening would be, because especially the later Daniel Craig Bonds sort of took a lot of their sort of themes from the Bourne movies, sort of more of that handheld camera, more for the fighting scenes. So it'd be just interesting to see what he's alluding to there.
And it's also interesting that he mentions that because, I mean, everybody thinks of the stereotypical Bond opening being the barrel of the gun focusing in on Bond, you know?
So what do we have here? We have the gyrosphere. No. I don't know what you could replace for the gun barrel for Jurassic. Maybe just the Isla Nublar map and the blood sort of covers it.
Yeah. It almost comes into Bonanza territory where the map of the Ponderosa Ranch starts burning.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, there's that, and he's also sort of said that there's going to be the second half's going to be terrifying and feature a secret dinosaur, which I'm guessing it's the one we see in the trailer and in the behind the scenes. But I suppose we'll wait a couple more weeks till Super Bowl should get our next trailer for that, and it should show a little bit more, hopefully. So that's coming along. Alright, Dave, ready to get into 76?
Yep.
Alright. As we enter minute 75 of The Lost World, Data, helplessly trying to evade the compies, climbed over a fallen log and fell back down to the creek bed, and several compies started leaping over the log to attack. As we continue into minute 76 of The Lost World, more compies leap over the log, and we can hear Dita's screams as he's eaten alive. The camera slowly pans down to the creek, and we see a slight trail of blood as Dita screams a final time. 75 minutes and 18 seconds, we cut back to the group, and Roland looking sternly at Carter, asking, "When did you last see him?" Carter replies, "About 10-15 minutes." He signals to Carter to come with him, and then picks out another hunter, and the men start walking through the group, who are all seated, still exhausted. He tells the rest of the group to keep right on, and in 10 minutes they should reach the ridge, and they should wait for him there. At 75 minutes and 35 seconds, Roland turns before leaving the group and addresses Sarah. "Miss Harding?" No one tells the little girl. Sarah nods and walks back over to where she was kneeling before, and squats back down. At 75 minutes and 45 seconds, the group still exhausted, Ludlow stands and says, "Right, let's move on." After a couple of seconds of being ignored, he says, "Alright, up, up," and claps his hands. Again he's ignored, and finally says, "Come on, up, up, up," and claps twice. But the hunters ignore him once again. 75 minutes and 56 seconds, Nick stands up and says, "Come on guys, let's get the hell out of here," and the group begin to stand. And this ends minute 76 of The Lost World. So the compy swarm sort of leaps over the log as we've seen in the last minute, and we get to see, or get to hear, Dita being attacked and eaten alive. A lot of weird noises he's making here. I don't know if Spielberg's direction was act as if you're dying, or because a lot of no-nos and ahs and
yeah.
What
are those compies doing to him behind that log?
Yeah, I don't know if it's even him or if it's just ADR. Because you know he's sort of got that Swedish accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, we soon realise pretty quick what the outcome is as we see the blood slowly come down the stream in the water around under the log.
And I love how we get that kind of like endless stream of just compies just going over the log. And then the camera slowly pans to the creek bed slowly turning red. It was always one of my favorite shots from when I was a kid. Yeah. Is that blood just slowly trailing down the creek bed, you know?
Yeah, because we had there would have been a dozen compies when he first fell down the hill and landed at the creek bed. And then as he's sort of running up the creek bed, we've seen more and more join the group and follow him. Like that last time before he started climbing over the log in the last minute, where he sort of looks back at him, there probably would have been 30 compies at least.
Yeah.
We only seen about 8 of them because of money, but it just goes to show. And then, as you said, we sort of get this stream of them jumping up over the log. And again, just in that perfect Spielberg magic, implied, not shown, horror of Dita being essentially eaten alive, and we hear it, and we see the blood start to come down the stream. It's not the first time we'll see it in this film, but it's just a fantastic shot, and I love it. And you can also hear sort of the compies chirping and chomping,
Snarling.
and yep. The end of Dita.
Yep.
I love how on social media you get a lot of times people posting up the who's your biggest villain from the Jurassic franchise, and Dita sometimes makes that list along with Nedry and Ludlow on that, where I just don't think his character was that well developed in the film. Yes, we've seen him sort of be a bit heartless taking down the Parasaurolophus in the hunt, but it's sort of, he's just there leading the troops really. And like RJ just sort of takes a step back in the film.
Yeah, it's really Roland who is made to shine in these movies, or in this movie. You know, Roland and Ian Malcolm.
Yeah. And funny enough, Roland rarely ends up on those lists.
Oh, I think it's because he's such a good person. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but if that gun was loaded at the end and we get to, he was going to shoot that Rex. So.
I mean, fair, the Rex was eating people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll pull the self-defense card. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I suppose one last thing before we leave here as well. You were saying before how he was sort of heading in the last minute, how he's heading deeper into the canyon, and you just see it here, like you got that lovely wall of ferns and rock on one side here, and just love the area this was filmed in. The location
it's
scouts
really
done a
cool.
great job.
They did.
But we cut away from Dita's gruesome demise, and Roland's stern face looking at the camera, or off to the side of the camera, and we realise he's looking at Carter, and asks, when did you last see him? Carter replies, about 10-15 minutes ago, which means they haven't really gone that far. So we know how fast the group was moving because they're getting exhausted. They wouldn't have gone a mile. They've probably gone 3/4 of a mile or something, you'd imagine, half a mile. In that sort of...
Probably not even that.
Yeah. So,
I mean, probably 1/4 of a mile, because if it's been 10-15 minutes, the average human walks about 3 miles an hour.
Plus sort of the terrain there, it's sort of up and down the hills in amongst the redwoods and that, so... Plus you're only as fast as your slowest member as well, so you got Kelly and maybe some injured hunters there following you as well, or even Ian limping, that'd be your probably 2 slowest members. But yeah, we pull back and see the group resting. Roland's the only one standing. Tells Carter to come with him, and asks another hunter the same, and they get up and start walking down through the group. Roland says if he's alive, we'll find him. The rest of you keep right on. In 10 minutes you should reach the ridge, wait for us there. And we sort of know from the last scene with Dita that it's late afternoon, starting to get dark again. It's just, I find it interesting, only 10 minutes away from the ridge where they're going to camp for the night, which makes you wonder how long Roland was off searching for Dita. If he only had to sort of run back or go back 10-15 minutes to find where they were resting before.
Yeah, but keep in mind, he and a couple of the other hunters do go and scout the village up ahead before they come back around and rendezvous with the rest of the group.
And that's, because that comes up in the next minute, where he says he's seen it, which did make me wonder, sort of looking at it more closely. Plus also too, okay, once he goes back to where it'd be easy to sort of backtrack to where they had rested, and find Dita's backpack. Then you've got to try and follow a path and find his chest webbing and that, or his vest, and all that sort of stuff he dropped when he was going to go to the toilet. And then sort of
Yeah, he
finds...
probably found them through that, and then just followed the trail of broken twigs and broken bones.
Yeah. Well, and also considering his sort of rifle ended up towards the top of the hill when he started to fall down. Yeah, it would have been nice for him to see that rifle come back later on when he meets back up with the others, if Carter was carrying it or something. Roland walks past the camera, he's got his gun on his shoulder, and turns to address Sarah, who was kneeling down on the ground, sort of stands up as he walks past and tells Miss Harding no one tells the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Which, how old does he think she is? She's just seen the Tyrannosaurs take Eddie. Oh, she didn't see. Oh, yeah, she would have seen the Tyrannosaurs take Eddie, so.
Yeah. But he's. Like he says in that, in the deleted, in the cut dialogue, he's trying to fight panic here, so he doesn't want the idea sitting in amongst the group that one of their own is that they're being picked off as they move along, you know?
Yeah, good point. Plus,
he doesn't want anybody there looking around, wondering who's going to be next.
Yeah, or doesn't want to put in that fear if you're going to go off the path to go to the toilet or something.
Yeah.
You're not going to get taken, but just be careful. But Sarah sort of nods and goes back to where she'll sit and squats down again. And then we get Ludlow stand. And, right, let's carry on. And slings his bag over his shoulder, but no one's getting up. And it tries again, everybody up and claps. Still no movement. And come on, up, and then claps twice, and still no one stands.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get Nick sort of stand finally and says, come on guys, let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they're all done with Ludlow at this point.
Yeah, it's just proof that being in charge doesn't give you respect.
No.
Although you got to wonder how much in charge he is at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think any at all.
Yeah, because when
Roland's
really
the one in charge.
Yeah, but he doesn't really hand that off to someone when he leaves. He sort of just talks to the group that in 10 minutes you're going to get to the ridge, wait for us there. He sort of calls Sarah out and says no one tells the little girl, but doesn't say watch over him until I get there. Sort of Ian's nowhere to be seen here either.
No, that's true.
So I wonder if they're towards the back of the pack somewhere with Kelly, but then you'd think they'd be with Sarah, so that's just sort of an odd little thing that I noticed. But they're going to go try and find Dita, and the group's going to move on. But that's 76. Anything else you want to add, Dave, before we get out of here for the week?
No, I just want to say that this is actually going to be the last time we see the Redwoods in this movie.
It is too, yeah.
And I love how this set here, it's on location, but it almost looks like one of those old Lost World style sets where you have the foreground just covered in ferns and that small trail, and then the background looks almost set in, you know? It's just completely enshrouded in fog. You can just see kind of bare details.
Yeah, yep. And we've been sort of talking the praise for the whole film that they've been shooting there. It's just a great location. Much like being on Hawaii for the shooting there. I think the Redwoods definitely added their own sort of elements to the movies, and I just love it for it.
Oh, it definitely did. It definitely helped this movie.
Yeah, just those massive trees. Even going back to one of the early minutes where we had Ian and Sarah sort of walking amongst them, talking to each other, and you just got that long camera track back through them, and just got these massive trees either side of them. It's just that Lost World feel.
All right, guys, let's get the hell out of here.
Contact details are on the website, thelostworldminute.com. You can email feedback to thelostworldminute@gmail.com, Facebook, The Lost World Minute, Twitter @thelostworldminute, and Instagram, The Lost World Minute.
Easy to remember.
Yeah, very easy to remember. David, thank you for joining me for this record.
You're welcome.
And we'll be back. I've been Brad.
I'm Dave.
And we'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
It is absolutely imperative that we work with the Costa Rican Department of Biological Preserves to establish a set of rules for the preservation and isolation of that island. These creatures require our absence to survive, not our help. And if we could only step aside and trust in nature, life will find a way.